Chosen one, this is your sacred space for divine guidance, inspiration, and empowerment. You are not here by accident. You are chosen one, set apart for a higher purpose. Right now, something has guided you here. Not coincidence, not luck, but alignment. Out of all the things you could be doing, out of all the places your attention could have gone, you were led to this very moment. And that should tell you something. Your spirit is searching, awakening, remembering. There is a reason you've always felt different. Even as you tried to blend in, to follow the same paths as others, there was always a quiet resistance within you, a voice that whispered, "This is not all there is." You may not have understood it at first. You may have even ignored it, but it never left you. That feeling is your calling. It shows up in the moments when you feel restless for no reason, when everything around you seems normal, yet something inside you feels unsettled. It appears in your thoughts late at night, when the world is quiet and your mind begins to wander towards something bigger, something more meaningful. You've questioned your purpose before. You've wondered why your journey has been so different, so unpredictable, sometimes even painful. But what you didn't realize is that every moment has been guiding you here toward awareness. Because chosen ones don't just wake up one day fully understanding everything. They are called little by little, piece by piece, through signs, through feelings, through moments like this. Think about your life for a second. The patterns, the lessons, the people who came and went. The doors that closed when you thought they should open. The paths that fell apart even when you tried your hardest to hold them together. At the time, it may have felt like loss, like confusion, like being stuck. But now, look again. What if those were not setbacks, but redirections? What if every closed door was actually protecting you from a path that wasn't meant for you? What if every delay were preparing you for something greater than you could see at the time? Chosen one, your life has never been random. There is intention behind your experiences. There is purpose behind your pain. And there is meaning behind the feeling that you were made for more. You are beginning to wake up to that truth now. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's why this moment feels different. That's why something inside you is paying attention in a deeper way. You're not just listening, you're recognizing. Because your soul remembers what your mind is only now starting to understand. You were never meant to live a small, ordinary life. You were never meant to ignore your inner voice or settle for what doesn't fulfill you. You were created with intention, with depth, with a purpose that goes beyond what most people ever stop to question. And the more you try to ignore it, the louder it becomes. The more you try to stay comfortable, the more uncomfortable you feel. That's not a flaw. That's your awakening. You are being called to rise above the limitations you once accepted, to step beyond the version of yourself that played small just to fit in, to finally acknowledge the truth that has been waiting for you all along. You are not here by accident. You are here because something greater is unfolding in your life right now. Something that requires your attention, your courage, your faith. And even if you don't fully understand it yet, even if you can't see the full path ahead, the call is getting louder. Chosen one, your struggles were not punishment. They were preparation. Every hardship you faced carried a hidden purpose. Even when it felt unfair, even when it left you questioning everything. You were never being broken. You were being built. There's a reason your path has been heavier than most. A reason why you had to fight battles in silence, why you had to stand strong when no one truly understood what you were going through. It's because your life was never meant to be average. Pressure creates strength, and you have been under pressure for a long time. Not to destroy you, but to refine you into who you are becoming. Think about all the moments you felt rejected. Times when people walked away, when opportunities slipped through your hands, when things didn't work out the way you hoped. It hurt, didn't it? It made you question your worth, your direction, even your purpose. But look deeper. Those rejections were not denying you. They were redirecting you. They were separating you from what could not go where you are destined to go. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your next chapter. Some people were only meant to be lessons, not lifelong companions. Chosen one, you were set apart because you carry something different within you. There is a depth to you that cannot be easily understood. You feel things more intensely. You notice what others overlook. You question what others accept without thought. And for a long time, that may have made you feel like you didn't belong. Like you were out of place in a world that seemed to move in ways you couldn't fully connect with. But what you saw as a weakness is actually your power. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out, not for attention, but for purpose. Not to be above others, but to awaken something within them. Your presence alone carries meaning, even when you don't realize it. There were seasons in your life where you felt completely alone. Moments where it seemed like no one truly understood your thoughts, your vision, your heart. That solitude was not abandonment, it was alignment. You were being pulled away from distractions so you could discover your own strength, so you could learn how to stand on your own, trust your own voice, and build a connection with something greater than the world around you. Because where you're going, you cannot depend on external validation. You cannot rely on constant approval. You must know who you are, even when no one else affirms it. That is why your journey required isolation at times. It was in those quiet, lonely moments that you grew the most, that you discovered resilience, that you found pieces of yourself you didn't even know existed. You learned how to keep going when everything told you to stop. You learned how to hold on to faith when nothing made sense. You learned how to rebuild yourself after being torn down. And that kind of strength cannot be taught in comfort. Chosen one, you were being trained for something greater than what you could see. Every challenge was shaping your mindset. Every obstacle was strengthening your spirit. Every delay was building your patience and your trust in divine timing. You may not have understood it while you were going through it. You may have asked, why me? Why is this happening to me? But now the question is changing. Now it becomes, what is this preparing me for? Because the truth is, not everyone could have handled what you've been through. Not everyone could have carried the weight you've carried and still kept moving forward. But you did, and that's because you were chosen to. Everything you've experienced has been leading you to this version of yourself, stronger, wiser, more aware. And even though the journey isn't over yet, one thing is clear. You are not the same person you used to be. You have been shaped for more. Chosen one, go to your room and close the door, not just physically, but spiritually. This is not about isolation from the world. It is about connection with your true self. There comes a moment in every awakening where the noise outside must fade so the truth inside can finally be heard. And this is that moment for you. You've spent so much time surrounded by opinions, expectations, and distractions that pulled you in different directions. Voices telling you who to be, how to act, what to chase, what to fear. And without even realizing it, some of those voices became louder than your own inner truth. But now, you are being called back to yourself. Closing the door means stepping away from everything that confuses your spirit. It means creating a space where you are no longer influenced by doubt, negativity, or the pressure to conform. This is where clarity begins. This is where your real transformation takes place. Close the door to doubt, the kind that whispers you're not ready, not worthy, not capable. That voice has kept you small for too long. It has made you question your gifts, your purpose, your path. But that voice was never your truth. It was fear. And fear loses its power the moment you stop listening to it. Close the door to fear, the fear of failing, the fear of being judged, the fear of stepping into something unfamiliar. Understand this. Everything meant for your growth will feel uncomfortable at first. Growth does not happen in safety zones. It happens when you dare to move forward despite uncertainty. Close the door to the past, the mistakes, the regrets, the moments you wish you could change. Those chapters are already written. You are not meant to live in them. You are meant to learn from them and rise beyond them. Holding on to the past only blocks the future that is trying to reach you. Chosen one, this is where your awakening truly begins. Not when everything around you changes, but when something within you shifts. When you decide to see yourself differently. When you finally accept that you are not who you used to be. In this quiet space, something powerful happens. You begin to hear your own thoughts more clearly. You begin to recognize your intuition, not as something random, but as guidance. A deeper knowing that doesn't shout, but gently leads. And what it's been trying to tell you all along is this. You already have what you need. You've been searching for answers outside, looking for signs, waiting for confirmation. But the truth is, everything you've been seeking has been within you. The strength, the wisdom, the direction, it's already there. It just needed space to rise to the surface. This is why silence is so powerful. Because in silence, truth is revealed. When you remove the noise, the distractions, the constant input from the world, You begin to reconnect with your purpose. You begin to understand your path in a way that no one else can explain to you. Chosen one, this is your moment to reclaim your power, not by becoming someone new, but by returning to who you truly are, the version of you that is not afraid, the version of you that knows its worth, the version of you that doesn't need approval to move forward. You don't need permission anymore. You don't need to wait for the right time. That time has already arrived. Everything you've been through has led you here, to this realization, to this shift, to this awakening. And once you step into it fully, there is no going back to the old version of yourself. So take this moment seriously. Protect your energy. Guard your mind. Be intentional about what you allow into your space and your spirit. Because what you are stepping into now requires clarity, focus, and faith. And the more you honor this space within yourself, the stronger, wiser, and more aligned you become. Chosen one, this is your moment. Not someday, not later, not when everything feels perfect. But now, this is a point where everything begins to shift, where all that you've been through starts to make sense in a new way. You are no longer waiting for your life to change. You are stepping into the one you were always meant to live. The rise of the chosen begins now. And understand this clearly, it does not begin with noise or recognition. It begins within you. It begins with a decision to stop doubting yourself, a decision to stop shrinking to fit into spaces that were never designed for your growth, a decision to finally stand in your truth, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. You have spent enough time questioning your path, enough time wondering if you're ready, enough time hesitating at the edge of your own potential. But the truth is, you were never meant to stay in that place of uncertainty. You were meant to move forward, even when you don't have all the answers, because clarity does not always come before action. Sometimes, clarity comes because of it. Chosen one, your destiny is not something distant or unreachable. It is something you step into with every choice you make from this moment on. It is built through your courage, your consistency, your willingness to trust the process even when it doesn't fully make sense. There will still be challenges ahead. There will be moments that test your faith, your patience, your strength. But the difference now is this: you are no longer the same person who once doubted their ability to overcome them. You have grown. You have evolved. You have become someone who can handle what's coming next. And that is why you are unstoppable. Not because life will suddenly become easy, but because you have become stronger, more aware, more aligned with who you truly are. The world may not always understand you. Some people may question your choices. Others may not see the vision that you carry within you. But you cannot allow that to shake you. Your path was never meant to be validated by everyone. It was meant to be walked by you. Stay focused on what you feel called to do. Stay grounded in your purpose. And most importantly, stay connected to your faith, because that is what will guide you when the path feels uncertain. There is something powerful about a person who knows who they are and refuses to settle for less than what they were created for. That is the energy you are stepping into now. Quiet confidence. Unshakable belief, purpose-driven action. You are no longer chasing approval. You are no longer seeking permission. You are moving with intention, with clarity, with trust in the journey that is unfolding before you. Chosen one, everything is aligning for you, even the things you don't yet understand. The delays, the detours, the unexpected changes, they are all part of a bigger picture that is working in your favor. So keep going, keep rising, keep becoming. Do not allow fear to pull you back into old patterns. Do not allow doubt to make you forget how far you've come. You have already proven your strength. You have already survived what once felt impossible. Now it's time to build, to create, to step fully into the life that has been waiting for you. And as you move forward from this moment, carry this truth within you, not as something you hope for, but as something you know. You are chosen. You are loved. You are destined for greatness.